Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about the latest developments taking place in the new Suez Canal project, and we're very much honored to have with us this morning Dr. Nevine Nakhla, doctorate in business administration. Good morning to you, Dr. Nevine.
Good morning.
Now, to start with, could you please shed more light on the ambitious plan to develop the Suez Canal Economic Zone?
First thing, the Suez Canal Economic Zone is the artery of the global trade. And it is the most important project for Egypt. Looking forward, and all the world is having an eye on this project because it will be boosting the Egyptian economic growth and also will lead to great job creation.
Okay.
As you know, the location of Egypt and the location of the Suez Canal project itself is very competitive, and it will lead...
The gateway to Africa, of course.
Exactly, the window and the gateway to Africa, and connecting the East with the West, and also it is a strategic plan from His Excellency, our beloved President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, to invest and to invest in the infrastructure in this area and in this economical zone. It is the most important project, as we said, that will lead to a lot of growth economically and encourage foreign investment. And
if we talk about investment now, how would that affect the flow of foreign investments to the area and the country as a whole?
Okay, usually the economical zones like the Suez Canal economical zone is a point of attraction and very strategic to attract the foreign investors. For example, or to identify, the Suez Canal passed through it 18,000 ships per year annually, and it is 8% of the global maritime work and global maritime business. So the infrastructure preparation and the building of the infrastructure around the Suez Canal for 461 kilometers is very important to attract the foreign investment. First of all, when the foreign investment bring their industrial investments in Egypt, they will benefit from the Egyptian certificate of origin. And this is very important because, you know, Egypt has very many trade agreements with all the world, especially Africa. As we said, it's the window and the gateway, the pathway to Africa.
Exactly.
So when they are investing in an industry in Egypt, they are able to benefit from these free trade and like the COMESA and other trade agreements.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And Dr. Nevine, would you tell us more about the role of the Suez Canal Economic Zone in boosting and promoting the Egyptian exports to the whole world, and also bringing exports into Africa and the other way around?
Okay. The first thing took place when the Suez Canal Economical Zone started and the vision started. There was a lot of reforms. For example, the investors in these zones, they are exempted from customs, from duties, from sales tax, VAT, a lot of restrictions, and they are free to export and import in these zones. So this is a competitive advantage and a competitive edge, and very important for the growth of more investments in this zone.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. And what about the trade partnerships? Because you mentioned the free trade agreements, and we also have trade partnerships with big industrial countries like China, for example, like Russia. How would all that affect the development of the area?
For example, Russia has 5,000 meters and China have 7.2 square meters. And will be prepared on stages
Yes.
different stages, and it will start the end of this year. And also Russia is going to open and launch a company of its own in this zone.
Yes.
And they will get benefit from, as we said, the customs, duties, all the exempted things to assure that they don't pay much taxes and increase the prices of the products. Also, there is a very competitive edge in Egypt. We are a young population. We have 27.6 roughly young workforce. We get out 300,000 student, what do you call, graduates every
Yes.
year, very skilled. Also
And trained as well.
very skilled,
Provided with training. Yes.
exactly. And also in the Suez Canal economical zone, there is a training, on-the-job training center that is going to take place.
That's excellent.
Yes.
So to qualify the young people to work in this specific area under these specific conditions.
Yes. And also it is very important, the whole supply chain and the whole logistic industry with all its infrastructure and all its pillars and hands for these international investors. When these international investors like Russia and China, they come to Egypt, they come with their workers, so it's good for them also because they open job opportunities for their country. And also, of course, they need a lot of workforce, so it's opening job opportunities for Egyptian young skilled workforce. And it's a gateway to Africa. They can get the Egyptian certificate of origin, which assures that they are under the free trade agreements and the COMESA and other agreements to Africa.
Yes.
Also, they have everything. In this area, the government, the state have adjusted the water and the sanitation, gas.
So it's a comprehensive plan. It's not just establishing projects there, it's also facilitating what is needed to make these projects successful.
Yes, and also this area is connected to four other economical zones and 6 seaports, and also connected to 6 tunnels. Also very connected to Sokhna and to Sokhna port and the other ports of Egypt. It's important to mention that 9,000 kilometers were established and adjusted to serve
the whole area.
This strategic plan of empowering and of preparing a big economical zone that will really enhance the growth of the economic
activities here in Egypt, definitely. But to elaborate more on what you're saying, Dr. Nevine, a number of countries are also implementing the industrial zones in that area, and they include China, as we said, Russia, as we said, but also Japan, South Korea, a number of European countries as well. So we need to learn more about those projects.
Yes, in Egypt, the state is targeting 250 zones for industrial zone, mainly for industries. And for example, Russia, they are starting the industries of cement, pharmaceuticals. China also, they have their plan. And the countries that are going to invest, the foreign investment in the Suez Canal economical zone, they are looking forward for huge investments and calling up businessmen and calling businesses to open franchises and to open industries in this zone. And this is very important, of course, for Egypt and very important for all stakeholders, not only Egypt, even for these countries. Don't forget that we have a competitive advantage in Egypt, which is the market size. On the competitive index, Egypt is very high in the market size. We are 100 million Egyptian population, and we are very good consumers. So even
Yes,
for
we are.
even for these countries to encourage their investors to come to Egypt, to invest in Egypt, and to make local production in Egypt, this will open a big market for them and will
And provide job opportunities for the Egyptian youth as well.
Exactly, and also after fulfilling the gap of the need for products in Egypt, it will reduce, of course, the importation and the hard currency going out for in the importation, as well.
And this should save a lot of money.
It save a lot of money, and of course, even these countries inviting their businessmen and their big companies to produce in Egypt, they will benefit, as we said, from the low wages of workforce in Egypt and the very skilled and very honest and very educated youth, Egyptian youth, and also will benefit from the big market. They have the market, and also will benefit from the free trade and from the agreements that they will be able to sell to Africa with no cost, no extra added costs.
Exactly.
If they want to export from their countries, they have to pay a lot of entry fees, a lot of customs in Africa. But if they sell from the Egyptian Suez Canal economical zone, they will be able to export without any customs in a lot of countries.
Dr. Nevine, would you tell us more about the importance of the participation of the Egyptian investors in the development process of the Suez Canal economic zone? Because now, as we said, it's a comprehensive plan, and Egyptian investors are playing a very important role in this regard.
Yes, very important for Egyptian investors to keep an eye on the Suez Canal economical zone and to start their strategic plans to invest over there, because this is the future of Egypt. And if you look at the vision of 2030 for Egypt, the Suez Canal, as we said, it's 8% of the global maritime business. And also we have 18 to 19,000 ships passing the gateway of the Suez Canal. So for the companies, the Egyptian companies, to invest in this area is very successful for them, very beneficially, and very needed also. Because in this area, to be a logistical hub like Jabal Ali or like any other place around the world, a big logistical hub, a lot of businesses needed, a lot of stores with high technology, a lot of supply chain management. So it's a very big opportunity for the Egyptian investors, and it's now the time to grab it. Otherwise, it will be too late, because
Now is the time.
Now is the time.
And since we're talking about so many people going to that area to work, how this huge project is providing job opportunities for so many people, this by default should create new urban communities. So the importance of creating new urban communities in this area.
Very good. This is, of course, it will happen by default, and this will take place very quickly and very efficiently. Because the area is very well prepared with very high technology and very high infrastructure. So everything is ready for the urban communities to start. And it will start by default when for example, when the Russian company will start and the Chinese company will start, and the European countries, areas will start operating, and you will have the workforce, you will have the youth going
to
there.
live there.
So of course,
people moving from the countryside to start to have a stable life.
Stable life. You will find also investors of supermarkets, investors of
to provide services for those people.
Exactly. Hospitals will open, schools will open, university will open. I mean, there is of course the Suez Canal University, one of the biggest, but the community will move with its services. So
definitely,
by default, this will take place eventually very soon.
Definitely. Now, as an expert, what are the mechanisms provided by the state to create the suitable atmosphere to attract more investments and to encourage investors to establish their projects, notably in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, because we have amended our investment law and we issued a new one, and this actually was meant to encourage especially foreign investors to come and invest in Egypt, particularly in the Suez Canal Economic Zone.
Yes, very well said. The government is doing a lot of reform to encourage the foreign and the Egyptian investors, and the stability and the security in the country is one of the most important things. A foreign investor, they see the indicators of stability and politically and legally, and the banks. We are one of the most stable economic countries.
Politically and economically in the area.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly. And even our central bank, very stable.
The currency.
The currency, everything. All these reforms that took place in the last 7 years is the supporting hand for the Suez Canal economical zone to boost and to really be one of the Egypt most important programs.
Yes.
And to make sure that the investors, they have eco-friendly businesses. Also, as we mentioned, a lot of exemptions for companies operating in this area will eventually support and give a hand also for them to invest more.
Definitely.
With huge investments. What else?
Well, this is part of the strategy of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, as you mentioned, but also the president was keen to visit so many countries and discuss with the leaders of the world improving ties or even further strengthening ties with world countries, and that played a role in attracting foreign investments from those countries, whether we're talking about Gulf countries, African countries, Western countries. The president has been paying visits to all these countries, and the leaders of those countries have been coming to Egypt, and a main part of the talks and the discussions focused on attracting investments from those countries to Egypt. How do you see that?
Yes, His Excellency, our beloved President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, with taking these actions and having the good relationship with all the world and all the countries, it is conveying a message of assurance, of stability and acceptance, and also the new rules of making the easiness of making business in Egypt. This was very important to convey the message also for all the world that Egypt is not complicated. Also, there is something very important that took place in Egypt, started the 1st of July 2021, which is the one-stop for importation and exportation. We started the ACI system in all the ports of Egypt, and the ACI system, this is an international system that what you say, it combines and it makes import and export very easy, and a one-stop shop that people, they don't have to run up and down from different bureaucratic governmental places to take approvals and to take stamps and to pay taxes.
The system that is applied in Dubai, I think the very same system is applied there too.
It is even more advanced
here in Egypt.
Yes, It started 1st of July, but they gave all companies operating in Egypt and to Egypt, importing and exporting from and to Egypt, they gave them 3 months time to get acquainted with the system and to register. You have to register and take a token with a e-signature. Before importation, you have to take an approval serial number, like a barcode, a Q code, to give you approval for this shipment to come. And on the documents of the shipment, you put this QR code, then it is automatically into the system, the computer system, with no hands, no bureaucracy,
no signatures,
no signature, nothing to stop.
That's excellent.
So all this easiness and facilitation of business in Egypt, also all the roads. Some people in the street, they say, why are we building a lot of bridges and a lot of tunnels and a lot of
access?
Come on, this is to complete the vision of His Excellency.
Of course.
To
wrap
together and facilitate the businesses, facilitate the transportation from
new airports as well.
It's
a comprehensive plan.
Yes. It's very comprehensive, very strategic, and very well executed by all the state and all the government under His Excellency vision.
Yes.
And as we said, 6 seaports, 4 other economical zones. Everything is connected with the technology and with the artificial intelligence and with the IT.
Yes.
Very strategically, and nothing haphazard. Nothing is not well studied. Everything is well planned and well studied.
I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Nevine Nakhla, doctorate in business administration. Thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. The honor was mine.
Hope to see you again soon. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us. Actually, this brings us to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. We hope you've enjoyed it. And tomorrow you will be meeting with another crew and more topics to be discussed. Goodbye for now.